up, everyone? Welcome to Notezz and welcome to the next part of our React.js series. In today's video, we will discuss one of the biggest problems which comes with JSX, and that problem is the only difference between HTML and JSX. Okay, so let me first discuss the problem, and then I will tell you the solution, that how React, the founders of React, which are Facebook, how Facebook resolved this problem with React. Okay, so let's get started. So here you can see I have opened my markup, which was discussed previously, and if you scroll down, I have having one section that explains that how React handles HTML attributes, something like class keyword. Okay, so now we all know that JSX means that when we add JavaScript with HTML, we get JSX. Okay, now JavaScript is a different thing, HTML is a different thing. When we merge these two concepts, we get JSX. Okay, but the problem here is, let me just explain the problem. The problem is that let's say that we are having a CSS file. In CSS file, we are having a heading class in which we are having font size of 30 pixels, and we are using same class heading in our HTML. Okay, which is in this h1 tag. Okay, and if you guys remember that we are having a class keyword right over here. Okay, which means that we can use classes for styling our HTML elements. Okay, so that's the part which comes from our traditional web applications. Okay, but the problem is, when we say about JSX, so we know that in JSX we guys can use something like const element, and we can use as JSX as variables. So we are having an h1 tag with a class heading, and this is the heading. Okay, and the problem here is that we are having the same class keyword here, but in JavaScript we also have a class identifier which defines a blueprint of an object. So we have a class keyword already built in our JavaScript. So how can React differentiate between this class keyword and this class keyword? So this is the biggest problem which Facebook faced while developing React JSX. Okay, so how to differentiate between this class and this class, because since we know that JSX is JavaScript plus HTML, so this is JavaScript, this is the HTML part, and in HTML part we are also having class, and in JavaScript part we are also having class, and there is not a single language on earth in which one identifier can map to two different concepts. So it was a problem for guys in React, for Facebook especially, because Facebook was developing JSX at that time. So what they did with they came up with a different approach. Okay, so what that different approach is that JSX allow us to use attributes within HTML elements. Just we like to with normal HTML, yes, we can use these attributes, but instead of normally naming these attributes like HTML conventions, we use camel case convention. Okay, so this is the camel case convention we have to use while defining these attributes, and one of the example is that the change of class attribute to class name. Okay, so the attribute of class has been changed to something like class name. Okay, so that's the change they have done. They have used camel case convention for the attributes to differentiate between the main JavaScript class keyword and this HTML keyword. Okay, and now it's not just regarding about the class keyword, but many other keywords has been changed. Okay, so let me just first discuss this thing. Okay, so if I come to my browser, sorry, not browser but my VS Code. So in the previous video we discussed about JSX, and what I did was I uploaded this code in a separate branch which is understanding JSX, and all the code is there. You guys can go and watch out. But now today I will change the branch to something like maybe let's say git switch dash c, and we will create a branch. Let's say we are saying a JSX problem. Okay, so we are discussing JSX problem today, and I will change all the I will commit all the code regarding JSX problem in this branch. Okay, so you guys can go and watch out. Okay, so let's first just remove all these things, because this will come from the different branch. So let me just remove this, as well as remove this thing as well. Let's remove this function, and inside div let's say we are having only one h1, which stands for this is heading. Okay, so that's all the summary. Let me just shrink this down to a single and a simple React.js component. Okay, so let's just run dev, and let me move it to left, and I will move the browser to right. Okay, so let's open this thing and let's move the browser to right. Okay, so this is the heading. Let me just collapse this project bar. Okay, and let me just close this terminal as well. So that's the overall heading which is being displayed right over here. And now let's say that we are having a class keyword here, and now obviously when you type class here, so your VS Code IntelliSense will already provide you that if you want to use class, you have to use this keyword like class name. Okay, and inside that class name you can use the same HTML concept. You can define any class and can use that class inside this HTML element. Okay, so that's the overall concept. Okay, so let's say there is one more bigger change in JSX, and that is of the style. And if you want to use styling like you use inline styles in HTML, you guys can do that, but inside style you have to provide an object, and inside that object every styling property of CSS has been changed to camel case. For example, let's say I want to use font size. So in regular HTML we use something like font size, and then we give something like maybe 30 pixels, something like this. Okay, so in here what we can do is we cannot use this font size, we have to use camel casing. So for that we have to do something like this font size. Okay, and then font size you can, let's say it's 30. Okay, and if I save this thing, it goes to 30 pixels, you can see. And if I increase this to 100 pixels, you can see that it is now 100 pixels. Okay, so these are the two different changes which come with JSX. Okay, number one is that you need, let's say I'm commenting here, you need to use camel casing for let's say HTML attributes. Okay, attributes. And let's say you also need uh, let's say camel casing for styling attributes. Okay, so that's the overall concept. Let me just comment this thing out. And this was the only concept I want you guys to explain. Okay, so this is the only difference which comes with JSX. And obviously the first time when you will use this concept in React, it will be very much confusing, but once you start practicing this concept, you become used to it. Okay, so that's the overall concept. And yeah, one more thing I want to discuss is that let me just first save this thing, and I will just let's close my server for now, and I will commit this thing uh, as JSX problem. And okay, changes not staged for commit, git add file. Okay, so I need git add star, and then I will git commit /m JSX dash problem. Okay, so I've committed, and now I will just git push, and I will push this to JSX problem. So it's origin and JSX problem. Okay, so you guys can see that I have pushed my code to a separate branch. And if somehow you guys want to understand different concepts, so you can easily switch in between the branches. So this is our JSX branch. If you want to somehow understand the understanding JSX branch, if you will click on this one, so you can see that I have all the code of JSX which we have discussed in the video is now available to you guys. And if you want to again see the JSX problem, if you click on that, you can see that now we are having the JSX problem code. Okay, so you guys can move on to different concepts by switching different branches. Okay, so that's one concept. And one more thing I want to discuss is if I open my browser, and let's say I want something like HTML to if you guys Google HTML to JSX online converters, you guys can get different websites. Okay, one of the most common one is this one, which is transform tools. And if you click on this one, in here you can see that on the left side we are having HTML, and on the right side we are having the JSX which is converted from this HTML. And you guys can see the difference here. Okay, let's say if I remove everything from here and also remove this thing over here, and if I come and type h1 here, and let's say I want to create a h1 tag, and this is heading. Okay, so this is just an h1 element with the title, this is heading. And you can see that for now, okay, so I have forgotten the forward slash here. So this is just a single HTML h1 heading. Okay, and nothing different, the HTML remains the same and the JSX also remains the same, but somehow I come and give a class, and let's say I want to name a class something like title. Okay, and you can see that the moment I write class here, it is being converted to class name in my JSX. Okay, and same goes for the styling as well. If I somehow come over here, and if I try to put some style, and if I let's say I want to give a style of something, let's say a font dash size, and font size is equal to 30. So you guys can see that the style is automatically being converted to a object, and inside that object we are using a camel casing for the font size, and we are giving 30 as the value. Okay, so this is the difference. You guys can easily come to this site and can type HTML and can see the difference between HTML and JSX. So I will suggest you guys to come over here and spend some time to map up your concepts regarding the differences between HTML and JSX. And one more difference is about, let's say if I want to create a label, and the label is, this is a label, and we usually use label with inputs. And let's say for inputs we use the for attribute, say for telling HTML that this label is for that specific input. So if we use for keyword here, you can see that for keyword is automatically being translated to HTML for. Okay, so that's the camel casing for this for attribute in JSX. Okay, so that's the overall concept. So yeah, that's it for now. It was just a simple concept I tried to explain to you guys. If you guys got it, so it will be a very plus for your React.js concepts. So I hope you liked the video. In the coming on video, we will jump to the concept of components. Although we were trying to discuss components in this video, but I thought that it would be good idea to tell you guys the differences, the biggest difference of HTML and JSX. Okay, so I hope you liked the video. If you're liking my content, so do subscribe the channel and like the videos, and follow me on LinkedIn. The follow up link for the LinkedIn will be in the description below. So see you in the next video. Thank you.